Cincinnati. We're on to Cincinnati. We're on to Cincinnati. Welcome back. We are on to Cincinnati. We are continuing our NCAA football win total series. And yeah, Cincinnati is next year in the Big 12. And under Luke Fickell, they were rolling. I mean, they've actually kind of been rolling since the days of Mark D'Antonio back in 2004. Uh, bowl games with him. Brian Kelly shows up, they're awesome. Butch Jones shows up, they're good. Tommy Tuberville's there, they're good. Look, Luke Fickell's there in 2017, and starting in 2018, I mean, 11 wins, 9 wins. Takes him to the playoffs in 2021. 2022 takes him to the Fenway Bowl, and then he's gone. And 2023, Scott Satterfield shows up, and they start the season off, and it's a good start. They beat Eastern Kentucky, they win at Pitt, and then just things fall off. Overtime loss at Miami or against Miami, Ohio, lose against Oklahoma, lose at BYU, lose against Iowa State, lose against Baylor, at Oklahoma State, UCF. It's November 11th before they get a win again, 24-14 on the road at Houston. And then they lose by 21 at West Virginia and then get demolished by Kansas. And it ends up being a 3-9 season in their first year in the Big 12. And the games aren't that close. They lost in overtime to Miami, Ohio, and then it's an 8-point loss at BYU. They lost by 3 to Baylor, and then UCF's too. But other than that, they're just getting demolished by teams. When we look at this team, the offense was good last year. I mean, it was 425 yards a game, and they're gonna have a good quarterback this year. They bring in Brendan Sorsby. He can move. He's not as mobile as Jones was last year, but actually he's a better passer, so the offense should be fine. They bring back Xavier Henderson, 58 catches, 782 yards. They bring in transfers Tony Johnson and Tyron Smith in the slot. The running game should be good. Corey Kiner's back to 1,047 yards, 5 scores. Yeah, they lost their number 2 back to UCF, but they bring in Evan Pryor from Ohio State. Offensive line should be great. Gavin Gerhardt's one of the best centers in the nation, and they bring back all 5 starters. So the only issue with sacks last year was Emory Jones was taking too long. They're not going to have that issue with Sorsby. The offense should be fine, but the defense was awful. So they've got to get behind the line. They bring in Darian Varner from Wisconsin. They bring in Eastern Michigan's Mike Coleman, who are expected to improve that. They've got some great defensive tackles. Dante Corleone is one of the best defensive tackles in the nation, but he was out all offseason with some blood clots. Hopefully he's back. If he is, it's going to be a huge boost for the defense. They're trying to fix the secondary, though. They bring in a transfer from at safety and Joshua Milkins. They bring in Mekhi Miller from Mexico State. They should both be starters. Georgia Southern transfer. They bring in Derek Canteen from Virginia Tech to play the corner. Honestly, if the defense is just a little better and they control the turnovers, they should be just fine. We look at the schedule. August 31st, they start up with Towson. That should be a win. Then Pitt at home, at Miami of Ohio. September 21st, at home against Houston, and then at Texas Tech before their first bye October 5th. Then they're at UCF, Arizona State October 19th, at Colorado October 26th, and then another bye. They have West Virginia at home, at Iowa State, at Kansas State before TCU. And the win total everywhere has been set about 5.5, with the over favored in most spots. When I look at this, I basically split it into 2 halves. That first half of the schedule should be very manageable. I think they can start 4-0. Towson, Pitt, at Miami, Ohio, Houston. I think they lose against Texas Tech, but then they'll probably beat UCF. They could be 5-1 in the first half. The second half of the schedule is very tough. West Virginia, Iowa State, and Kansas State should be all competing for the Big 12 title. TCU should be better this year. Colorado should be pretty good. I think Arizona State's going to be pretty good. When I look at this, I think it's 5-1 in the first half of the schedule, and honestly, probably 1-5 in the back half. I don't think they get swept in the back half and go 0-6. So with that, we're going to play the over 5.5. I think that's the right move here. MGM has it actually the under favored, so we're going to take the over there at -105. If you like this content, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and we'll see you next time.